Understanding why interest fades in a relationship is the crucial first step in reigniting attraction. When things aren't progressing as they should, it's easy to blame external factors or feel helpless. But the truth is that interest can fade for a variety of reasons, many of which are often tied to patterns that both partners are responsible for, whether consciously or unconsciously. It's important to acknowledge that this is a common experience in many relationships and doesn't necessarily mean the end of something beautiful, but rather an opportunity for growth and improvement. Sometimes people simply become too comfortable in the relationship. The initial excitement that comes with the chase or the novelty of getting to know someone new can fade, leaving both partners feeling complacent. It's natural for routines to settle in, but when the initial spark starts to fade, one or both of you may stop putting in the effort that was once there. This is when the relationship can start to feel stale. She may feel like you're not putting in the same level of effort to keep things fresh or exciting, and as a result, her emotional connection to you weakens. This doesn't mean she doesn't care, it just means she needs to see that you're still invested and committed to the relationship. Another common reason why interest fades is emotional disconnection. Over time, couples often get caught up in the day-to-day responsibilities of life, work, family, and other commitments that they forget to nurture the emotional intimacy between them. If you aren't engaging with her emotionally or showing her that you care in meaningful ways, she may feel neglected or undervalued. Emotional connection is one of the most important aspects of attraction, and if you're not making an effort to stay emotionally available and responsive, it's no surprise that the interest starts to fade. She might feel distant or disconnected from you, even if you're still physically present in the relationship. A lack of communication is often a silent culprit behind fading interest. Communication isn't just about talking, it's about understanding each other, sharing feelings, and keeping that bond strong. When communication breaks down, misunderstandings can occur and small problems can escalate. She might feel like she's not being heard, or worse, that her needs aren't being met. As these issues build up, it can lead to frustration and emotional distance. She may not even be fully aware of why she's losing interest, but if the emotional and communicative connections aren't there, she may start to withdraw. Another possibility is that her needs are simply not being met. This could range from physical needs to emotional or psychological ones. Perhaps she feels like her desires, dreams, or aspirations aren't being supported by you. A relationship is a partnership, and both individuals need to feel valued and understood. If she feels that you've stopped listening to her needs or aren't putting in the effort to meet them, her interest can naturally fade. It's vital to check in with each other regularly to see if you're both happy and fulfilled, making sure that you're still meeting each other's evolving needs. Sometimes external pressures like stress, personal challenges, or even changes in life circumstances can also play a role. If she's dealing with her own issues, such as stress at work, personal insecurities, or family problems, it might cause her to emotionally withdraw, even if it's not a reflection of how she feels about you. In these moments, being patient and understanding can go a long way. Offering support without pressuring her or making her feel guilty can help rebuild the connection. It's important to remember that attraction is not static. It fluctuates, and just because someone has lost interest momentarily doesn't mean they can't regain it. Identifying the reasons behind her fading interest allows you to understand the problem and address it in a meaningful way. This isn't about blaming either party, but rather about recognizing areas where change can make a difference. With the right actions, you can show her that you're aware of these issues and ready to make the effort to rekindle the connection, which in turn will reignite her interest. When it comes to reattracting someone, one of the most powerful actions you can take is to focus on self-improvement. It may sound cliche, but the reality is that being the best version of yourself, not just for her, but for your own personal growth, can create an undeniable shift in the dynamic between you two. Self-improvement isn't just about physical appearance or superficial changes. It's about becoming more confident, emotionally intelligent, and proactive in every aspect of your life. These qualities not only enhance your own sense of fulfillment, but also make you more attractive to others. One of the first areas to focus on is your physical health. If you've let yourself go or aren't taking care of your body, it can have a significant impact on how she perceives you. When you feel good about yourself physically, that confidence radiates outward. She'll notice the effort you put into staying healthy or engaging in activities that promote well-being, whether it's working out, eating better, or simply maintaining an active lifestyle. The key here is not about conforming to any specific image of what society deems attractive, but about taking pride in your body and showing that you value yourself. When she sees you prioritizing your health and self-care, she'll recognize your commitment to both yourself and the relationship. But physical appearance isn't the only area for improvement. Emotional intelligence plays a significant role in attraction. Being able to understand your own emotions and navigate difficult situations with maturity is incredibly attractive. If in the past you've been reactive or withdrawn during emotional conflicts, now is the time to change that. Practice self-awareness and be mindful of how you handle your emotions. When you show that you're emotionally grounded and capable of handling challenges calmly and constructively, it's a huge draw. Not only does this benefit your relationship, but it also shows that you are in control of your emotional life, which is an important characteristic that will make you more attractive to her. Another crucial aspect of self-improvement is developing your mental and emotional resilience. If you've been going through a tough time or have faced setbacks, the way you handle adversity speaks volumes about your character. If she's seen you struggle without rising above it, she may begin to feel like you're not the strong partner she initially connected with. However, when you take the time to reflect, learn from your struggles, and move forward with renewed strength, it will naturally reawaken her respect and admiration for you. The key is to demonstrate that you're not just stagnant, you're growing and evolving into a stronger person. Self-improvement also involves expanding your life beyond the relationship. She will find you more attractive when she sees you pursuing your own passions, hobbies, and goals. Whether it's diving deeper into your career, picking up new skills, or traveling, showing that you're a well-rounded individual who has his own interests and ambitions is essential. It also allows you to bring new experiences and perspectives into the relationship, keeping things fresh and exciting. When you become less reliant on her for your sense of purpose, you create a healthy dynamic where both partners have their own fulfilling lives while still supporting one another. Additionally, developing a positive mindset and cultivating confidence is key to reattracting her. People are drawn to individuals who radiate positivity and self-assurance. If you've been uncertain or overly self-critical, working on boosting your self-esteem can help shift how you present yourself. The way you speak to yourself, the way you carry yourself, and the way you approach life all stem from your internal beliefs. By actively challenging negative self-talk and focusing on what you're good at, you'll begin to project more confidence in every interaction with her. Confidence is magnetic, and when she sees you standing strong in your own skin, she'll be reminded of why she was attracted to you in the first place. All of these aspects of self-improvement have a cumulative effect on your overall attraction. It's not about being perfect, it's about showing growth and effort, which are incredibly compelling qualities. When you invest in yourself, it's not only about making her notice the changes, it's also about making you feel better and more empowered in your own life. This shift will naturally have a positive impact on the relationship. So focus on becoming the person you admire and respect, and the attraction you're seeking will follow. Sometimes when interest begins to fade, one of the most powerful tools you can use to reattract her is to give her space. It may seem counterintuitive, especially when you're eager to win her back, but allowing her to have some distance can work wonders. When someone feels suffocated or overwhelmed in a relationship, the natural reaction is to pull away, and if you continue to chase or cling to them, it can create more resistance. Giving her space doesn't mean completely withdrawing or disappearing from her life. Rather, it's about creating the opportunity for her to miss you, to reflect on the relationship, and to rediscover her feelings for you. One of the key aspects of giving her space is recognizing the importance of emotional autonomy. Often when couples get too caught up in each other's lives, they lose their sense of individuality. You need to give her room to breathe so she can remember who she is outside of the relationship. This doesn't mean that she should feel neglected, but that you're offering her the freedom to explore her own interests, meet her own needs, and reflect on what she truly wants. When someone feels too dependent on the relationship or feels like they're constantly being smothered, it can cause them to lose interest. Allowing her to have her space reminds her that she is her own person, which in turn can make her more excited and appreciative of the connection you share. Giving her space also provides you with the opportunity to focus on yourself and grow, as mentioned earlier. It's not just about giving her room, but also about using that time wisely to improve yourself physically, emotionally, and mentally. When you invest in your own growth and show that you're not reliant on her for your happiness, it can create a sense of intrigue and attraction. People tend to value what they can't have at all times, and when you give her space, it can spark curiosity. She might start wondering what you're doing with your time, what new things you've been working on, or how you're evolving as an individual. This intrigue can reignite the spark in her heart as it brings a sense of mystery and excitement back into the relationship. Furthermore, allowing space can help break any unhealthy patterns of overdependency or neediness. If you've been overly available or constantly trying to please her, you may have unknowingly pushed her away. When you give her space, it shows her that you trust her to have her own life and you are comfortable being independent as well. This shift can give both of you a sense of freedom and can foster a healthier, more balanced dynamic. Instead of being glued to each other, you create an environment where both partners feel respected and valued as individuals, not just as a couple. During this time, it's important to resist the urge to constantly check in with her, bombard her with texts, or try to rekindle the connection through excessive communication. Let the space be truly hers to enjoy. Often it's the absence that creates desire. When someone is constantly in your face, it's easy to take them for granted, but when they step back, it allows you to reflect and realize what you're missing. Giving her this space is not about playing games or manipulating her emotions, but rather about creating a healthy relationship dynamic where both of you can come back together with renewed energy and appreciation. It's also essential to let her feel the freedom to choose to reconnect with you rather than you constantly pushing for it. By pulling back a bit, you take the pressure off her and allow her to come to her own conclusions about what she wants. This can lead to her feeling more in control of the relationship, which can reignite her attraction toward you. She'll feel like she's not being pressured, which creates a sense of security and comfort. Ultimately, giving her space is a strategic move that allows both of you to recharge, reflect, and grow individually. It's an opportunity for both partners to take a step back, gain perspective, and reignite the attraction that might have been lost in the rush of daily life. When the time is right, you can come back together with fresh energy and a deeper connection, ensuring that both of you are emotionally engaged than before. By respecting her need for space, you demonstrate maturity and understanding, qualities that can ultimately rekindle her interest in the relationship. Rebuilding emotional connection is one of the most important and effective ways to reattract someone who has lost interest. When the emotional bond starts to fade, it can create a sense of distance that undermines the foundation of any relationship. If you want to reignite her feelings for you, focusing on deepening and nurturing that emotional connection is essential. It requires effort, attentiveness, and a willingness to be vulnerable, but the payoff is a stronger, more meaningful bond between the two of you. One of the first things to focus on is communication. It's not just about talking, but about truly listening and understanding each other. Often, when relationships hit a rough patch, communication breaks down and surface-level conversations take over. To rebuild the emotional connection, you need to move beyond the daily logistics and start having more meaningful, heart-to-heart conversations. Ask her how she's feeling, what's going on in her life, and how she's been coping with various challenges. Be genuinely interested in her thoughts and emotions and listen with empathy, not judgment. Let her know that you're there for her, not just as a partner, but as someone who truly cares about her well-being. When you show her that you're present and emotionally available, it creates the space for her to open up and feel closer to you. It's also important to be vulnerable and allow yourself to open up as well. Emotional connection thrives on mutual sharing, and by revealing your own feelings, fears, and experiences, you encourage her to do the same. If you've been distant or closed off emotionally, this can be a powerful way to reignite intimacy. Vulnerability fosters trust and helps build a deeper emotional bond. When you share your true self with her, it signals that you trust her and value the connection enough to be open and honest. This vulnerability, when reciprocated, can transform a relationship from surface-level interactions to something much deeper and more meaningful. In addition to communication and vulnerability, consistency plays a huge role in rebuilding emotional intimacy. If she's lost interest, it may be because she hasn't felt emotionally supported or seen. Showing her that you're there for her consistently through small gestures of care, affection, and thoughtfulness can go a long way. This doesn't mean overwhelming her, but rather showing her that you're reliable and attentive to her needs. Simple acts, like remembering important details about her life or taking time out of your day to check in on her emotionally, can make her feel valued and appreciated. Consistency demonstrates that you're genuinely invested in the relationship and willing to put in the effort to keep the emotional connection alive. Another key aspect of rebuilding the emotional connection is rekindling the shared experiences that once brought you together. Think back to the things you used to do together that made you feel close, whether it was shared hobbies, trips, or simply spending quality time together. Reviving these moments can help remind both of you why you connected in the first place. Sometimes it's easy to get caught up in the routine of life and forget about the small things that make a relationship unique and special. Reintroducing those experiences can create new memories that reinforce the emotional bond. Lastly, being patient is essential when rebuilding emotional connection. It's not something that can be fixed overnight. Emotions don't just turn back on with a snap of a finger, and it's important to respect her timeline. Pressuring her to feel the same way as she once did can create resentment and push her further away. Instead, focus on being steady, reliable, and emotionally present over time. This approach will naturally lead to the rekindling of feelings as she starts to see you as someone she can trust and rely on, someone who values the emotional connection you share. Rebuilding emotional connection takes time and effort, but when done thoughtfully, it can reignite the spark and bring you both closer together than before. By showing up with vulnerability, consistency, and a genuine desire to understand each other on a deeper level, you create the emotional foundation that can lead to a renewed sense of attraction. To re-attract someone who has lost interest, confidence and playfulness are two powerful ingredients that can rekindle the connection between you. When a relationship starts to lose its spark, it's often because the energy that once existed between you two has dimmed. Reintroducing both confidence and playfulness into the dynamic can shift the tone of the relationship and make her look at you in a new light. These qualities not only make you more appealing, but they also remind her of the excitement and joy that were present in the early stages of your connection. Confidence is a magnetic trait. When you're confident, you project an aura of self-assuredness and security, which is incredibly attractive to others. If you've been unsure of yourself or hesitant in the relationship, this can easily be perceived as a lack of interest or an emotional disconnection. Confidence, however, communicates that you believe in yourself, in your value, and in the relationship. It shows her that you're not dependent on her to feel good about yourself, and that's a powerful message. The way you carry yourself, the way you speak, and even the way you make decisions all reflect your level of confidence. If you can walk through life with a sense of certainty and belief in your abilities, you will draw people toward you, including her. However, confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about knowing your worth and not seeking validation from others, especially in your relationship. If you've been overly self-critical or lacking in self-esteem, now is the time to focus on building yourself up. Start by recognizing your strengths and achievements and learn to appreciate the person you are. When you are secure in who you are, you're not only more attractive to her, but you're also in a better place emotionally to support the relationship. Being confident means being comfortable in your own skin, which in turn makes her feel more at ease with you. This confidence can reignite her interest by reminding her of the reasons she was drawn to you in the first place. Playfulness, on the other hand, is about bringing lightness and fun back into the relationship. Relationships can easily slip into routines where everything feels predictable and serious. It's easy to get caught up in daily tasks, obligations, and challenges, and the playful energy that once defined your connection can fade. To re-attract her, bring back that sense of fun and spontaneity that was part of the initial attraction. Being playful doesn't mean being immature, making jokes all the time. It means being able to laugh together, tease each other, and enjoy moments of lightheartedness without taking everything so seriously. Playfulness breaks down walls and creates a sense of joy that both partners can share, making the relationship feel fresh and exciting again. Flirting is a key part of playfulness, and it can go a long way in reawakening desire. When relationships become too comfortable, the flirting and romance that existed in the early days often disappear. Rediscover the art of playful banter, making her laugh, complimenting her in a sincere yet fun way, and reminding her of the chemistry that brought you together. This doesn't mean acting as if you're starting from scratch, but rather reintroducing that flirtatious energy that keeps things exciting. Remember to keep things light and engaging, showing her that you still find her attractive and that you're still invested in creating those fun moments together. By combining confidence and playfulness, you create a balance of emotional strength and fun energy that can reignite her attraction. You remind her that you're someone who is secure, self-assured, and capable of bringing joy into her life. It's about bringing back the sense of excitement, lightness, and energy that naturally pulls two people together. When she sees you confidently navigating life while also bringing back the playful dynamic that first attracted her, it will reignite feelings that may have started to fade. Playfulness and confidence have the power to bring the spark back and keep it alive, setting the stage for a deeper, more fulfilling connection. If you want to re-attract her and get results, setting clear intentions and taking purposeful action is crucial. It's not enough to simply hope that things will improve on their own. You have to take responsibility for creating the shift you want to see in the relationship. When interest begins to fade, both partners can easily fall into a passive state, assuming that the feelings will just return if the circumstances align. However, this passive approach often leads to stagnation and more distance between you. By setting clear intentions, you send a message that you are serious about rekindling the connection and are willing to put in the necessary work to do so. One of the first steps is to have a conversation with her about your intentions. This doesn't mean confessing your love in an overwhelming way or pushing for immediate results, but rather expressing your desire to rebuild the relationship and put in the effort. Communicate openly and honestly about what you want to achieve, whether it's rebuilding emotional intimacy, bringing back the excitement, or simply becoming more present in her life. When you articulate your intentions clearly, you not only show her that you are committed to the relationship, but you also create an open space for her to share her feelings, desires, and expectations. This conversation can be a turning point, as it allows both of you to realign your goals and approach the relationship with renewed purpose. Setting clear intentions also means understanding what you both want from the relationship moving forward. Sometimes, when interest fades, it's because expectations have become unclear or unspoken. By taking the time to discuss what each of you needs, you can avoid misunderstandings and start moving toward mutual goals. It's essential to be realistic and open about what's needed to reignite attraction. You may need to make compromises or adjustments to meet each other's needs, but by setting clear goals together, you create a shared vision for the future of the relationship. Once you've clarified your intentions, the next step is to take consistent action. Intentions without action are meaningless. You must back up your words with concrete steps that show you are serious about making changes and investing in the relationship. This doesn't mean grand gestures or dramatic overhauls, but small, consistent actions that reflect your commitment. Whether it's planning special dates, sending thoughtful messages, or simply being more present and attentive in your daily interactions, each action serves to reinforce the intention you've set. It's the little things like remembering important details about her day, offering support when needed, or showing appreciation for the things she does that will make the biggest impact over time. Consistency is key when it comes to taking action. If you're inconsistent in your efforts, she may feel confused or unsure about whether you're truly invested. On the other hand, when you consistently follow through on your intentions and show her that you're dependable and reliable, she will begin to see that you are genuinely committed to making things work. Consistency also helps rebuild trust, which is essential for any relationship. When she sees that you're consistently taking the necessary steps to improve the relationship, it will reassure her that you are serious about reigniting the spark. It's also important to take responsibility for your part in the dynamic and acknowledge any mistakes or missteps. This is part of taking intentional action, owning up to what hasn't worked in the past and making a conscious effort to change. It's not about blaming anyone, but rather about understanding how both of you contributed to the fading of interest and taking proactive steps to correct course. When she sees you taking accountability, it demonstrates maturity and a genuine desire to grow together. By setting clear intentions and taking purposeful action, you are showing her that you value the relationship and are willing to invest in it. This approach not only helps reignite attraction, but also creates a deeper sense of connection and mutual respect. Intentions without action may be well-meaning, but it's the steps you take that will truly make a difference. When you act with purpose and consistency, you will create a renewed sense of trust, excitement, and emotional closeness that can transform the relationship.